Hello guys, and what's going on? And I'm back today with episode number, I believe we're on 5, or it could be 4, but no, I'm pretty sure it's 5. My Leicester City career mode, and we're going into a game against Newcastle, and we started the season quite well. If you haven't seen last episode, just go back onto my channel. There will be a playlist for it coming up shortly, and there should be a link below for the previous episodes if you have missed them, because you would need to know whereabouts we are in the season. So we're going into the game. I was pretty confident that we could do well against Newcastle. They were a bit, I do believe they're bottom half of the table, like quite near relegation zone, and we were actually flying quite high considering we're Leicester City and we don't have the most amount of funds and the squad depth. So as you can see, we're sitting in 8th and Newcastle are actually in 16th place. So we should really be beating these, and this is the sort of games that we need to really step up in. We've been doing very well against some of the bigger teams in the league, the likes of United, Arsenal, Chelsea, etc. And we've played a couple of so-called smaller teams like Palace. We have beaten them, and we have beaten Burnley, but you'll see in this episode that we do actually lack a bit of quality. And as you can see, in the first half it was poor. We were just 0-0. We couldn't get any chances, and I played a few of our reserve players, like Chris Wood got his first start here, going for on goal, and he manages to slot that one home, putting us 1-0 up. And he's actually a solid player, to be fair. Big, he can tussle with the defenders, outmuscle them, and he's got decent finishing stats on him. But our fitness was very low. I had been using quite a lot of the same players to do quite well in the season. So I should take note of that and try and rotate some of the players in and out, so we don't ever have this sort of crisis again. Decided to make a few changes. I bring on Powell, who's on loan from United, and I also bring on Rudolph to go into attacking midfield and striker position. And this was a bad mistake, because literally straight after I had scored, De Jong went in, slide caught back in, and Riviere got the ball and took it past Schmeichel and tapped that in to make it 1-1. And this is just this story of my life at the moment. I go 1-0 up, and then the team equalises. Then I actually managed to keep the draw there, but normally I'll either lose or just end up drawing the game. So I really need to be able to learn how to keep my leads and obviously stay quite defensively solid, because we have actually only had 2 clean sheets, I do believe, or something along those lines, which isn't the best, to be honest. If we do want to do well, it's all about keeping some clean sheets. So going into the game against Swansea, I decided to bring in the stronger players that were unfit for the Newcastle game, but they were back. And I decided to also go and check the league table out. We're currently sitting in 8th position on 12 points, with the likes of Aston Villa, United and Sunderland ahead of us. And I really wanted to build from that and try and get into the Europa League this season, because I thought it was actually realistic. Although at the start of the season I didn't think I'd do that well. If we do keep our players all fit and healthy, there's a possibility we can achieve above ourselves this season. And then obviously going into next season we'll have more funds and so on. So we're going in against Swansea, and just a question for you: if you do play career mode, when did Swansea ever become Barcelona? When did they ever become Barcelona? They're bloody amazing. They just pop the ball around for fun. They're the hardest team I've played against on this career mode. And if you have been keeping up to date with it, we have played some of the top teams in the league. So we went 1-0 up there with Aloha, and they had loads of chances. They were hitting the post here and there, the crossbar. But then going into 43rd minute, lovely 1-2 with Britain and Dyer. He gets it back to Dyer, crosses it over to the back post to, I do believe it was Boney, and he taps it in. And I just couldn't get anywhere near them. And that was in the 44th minute, and then that took us into half-time at 1-1. And it was just another thing. We went 1-0 up, and then we went 1-1. And then Montero picked the ball up here, drove inside, and I couldn't get close to him. Slides it back to Boney, and he just taps it in to go 2-1. And this was actually looking like it's going to be our first loss of the season. So I decided to change it up a bit. Took David Nugent off and bring Vardy on, just to bring in some fresh legs up top and see if we can come back into the game. But I was struggling majorly. This was definitely going to be our only chance of the game there, and we actually took our first loss of the season, and I'm so disappointed about that, because we have played the top teams and we end up losing to Swansea. No disrespect to Swansea, but if you're drawing with United, Arsenal, Everton and so on, how can you be losing to Swansea? So that's the 2 games in this episode, guys. It's a bit of a short episode because there wasn't much happening in their games. And I came off the main like out of the game, and Schmeichels was thanking me for the playing time that he's had and that he's been involved in every game we've played this season, I do believe. But then he came up with New Boy Sparhitch, a flop. And I was very surprised with this, because I thought he's actually been very solid, to be fair, considering the start of the season we've had. I don't know how they can be calling him a flop, but hopefully in the next later on in the series he'll up his form and show them, his critics, who's boss. So we stayed in 8th position with 12 points. United are only a couple points ahead of us, and hopefully in the next episode we can actually like push on to try and exceed United, because that will be quality. So in the next episode we'll be kicking it off with a game against West Brom. So I'll speak to you guys later, and bye.